Hey everyone, and welcome to another edition of All Teed Up. I'm Dr. Tim, and soon I'll introduce my co-partner in crime, Mo Rai, who will demonstrate some of the exercises. But before we get going, I just want to give you a little bit of feedback or theory on what we're going to do today. And today's episode, we're going to talk about one of the important building blocks of a golf swing. Now, when we talk about building blocks, any trait or any skill, whether it be math, whether it be English, whether it be a physical skill, there's essential building blocks, and it's important to master those building blocks to make whatever skill that is efficient or effective. Let's use math as an example, okay? Until you get a really good understanding and recognition of numbers, okay, you're not going to be able to do the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Once you master those building blocks or recognizing the numbers and what they mean, then of course you can go on and perform the addition, subtraction, multiplication. Heck of a lot easier to become more effective, more efficient, more automatic, okay? And golf is no different. There's two very important building blocks: mobility and stability, okay? Now, when we talk about mobility, we talk about that particular area, whether it be a joint, whether it be the spine. It's the ability for that area to go through a full functional range of motion. Okay, so let's use the shoulder, for example. Shoulder range of motion, start at the side, should be able to go up high and back. And you and I both know shoulder mobility, very important, let's say in the backswing. Okay, now this is where it becomes interesting, okay, because our brain, our nervous system, when we say, okay, let's take that club back, we know we want to get our arms up high, okay. Now let's say you're unable to perform that functional movement, okay, you're restricted in shoulder range of motion. Well, your brain is gonna say, okay, well, listen, he can only get to here, but in his backswing, he needs to get up higher. How's he gonna do that? Well, okay, one way, stand up high, okay? Early extension, okay? So you can see how, again, the brain's, it's an amazing machine, and it's gonna take the blueprints, it's gonna see your end goal and say, okay, he can't do it, how am I gonna do it so that he can do it? And that's going to lead to compensation and, unfortunately, unwanted swing characteristics. So that's why one of the important building blocks is to ensure that we have functional movement through its full range in all the body parts necessary. So in this particular episode, we're going to focus on shoulder mobility, okay? And when I talk to patients, I stress the importance. It's quality over quantity, okay? I much rather see them do it, the exercise properly than improperly and develop, again, bad movement patterns, okay? Now, again, I've had a lot of clients say, well, you know, I can't really picture myself doing these on the first tee before my round, and that's where I stop them. I said, okay, you know what, these are good, but that's not what they're meant for, okay? These exercises and the ones that are preceding are exercises, activities designed prior to the round. So I mean, if the first time you're doing them is on that first tee, chances are it's a little bit too late, because in reality, from a physiological standpoint, it's going to take 3 to 6 weeks before you see any vast improvement. So by all means, start to do them now. Prepare yourself for the spring, and don't be, what's the word I'm looking for, frustrated if you don't see results within the first week, because gotta be honest with you, it's probably not gonna happen that soon. But the more you keep doing it, the more effective, the more efficient it's going to be, okay? Now also, we talked about the importance of mobility from a functional movement standpoint, to allow you to develop a very efficient swing. The other thing that you gotta keep in mind, by the ability for these particular areas to move properly, it's going to prevent injury, okay? So that's another key component. So without further ado, I'm going to send it over to my partner in crime, and she's going to show you some of these shoulder exercises. All right, so if you're all set, let's get all teed up.